want to do a podcast? We make a darn good team. It always goes without a hitch. Let's head to Twitch and go start up the stream. Do you want to do a podcast? It's the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Let's start now. Hi everyone and welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Come?
All right, I'll do my own bit for myself.
Oh wait, no silence.
We're doing it. Get off the road.
Hey Dave.
Hey Boater.
At the end of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Yoda tells Obi-Wan, "Into exile I must go. Failed I have." And then Obi-Wan says, "Wait, Yoda, there's something I must know. Why did the movies come out in this order? 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3. "Ah," says Yoda, "in charge of scheduling I was." Stole it from a meme. Hey everyone and welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast. I'm Boater.
I'm Dave, man.
See, that was better than the joke that I made during the pre-roll. How's everyone doing out there tonight? Thank you for dropping by. Thank you, Love Alec in chat already. Yeah, we've got a fair amount to talk about. A lot of cool stuff. A lot of conversation topics happened the past 7 days, and there's a lot that we're looking forward to. So let's beat around the bush for a while. Dave, how you been?
Very, very good. You know, I had a piece of toast and
good.
Kind of wandered around.
Yeah, it was nice to at work today that it was like above 15, so it wasn't too bad out. Yeah.
No, I will tell you that it was not warm enough for my kids to go outside, and we are like we're like starting to see the barracks being built against the walls. The flags of freedom are starting to get waved. We're gonna have to start singing Les Mis tunes because a coup is a coming if spring don't hurry up so my students can go outside.
It's the middle of February.
Yep.
Oh boy. Okay, so quick story for you, Dave. I realized that, you know what? I didn't have a Twitch ban ready for today. So at about the 8-minute mark during pre-roll, I bring out my phone and I'm like, let me do some quick research here. And wouldn't you know it, I have a really good Twitch ban for you. Sunday. There was a game that didn't really have anything to do with video games, but there was a game Sunday night. And of course, because people have been trying to push the system, some people decided to simulcast it onto their Twitch streams while offering commentary.
Okay.
The NFL is really protective over its broadcasts. Don't do this. But they weren't the only ones that got the ban hammer Sunday night. Some people deciding that maybe the teams weren't interesting to them, or just because maybe they could cash in on a niche audience that wanted to watch football, but not that particular football. Some people were playing the latest Madden NFL game. And they also got banned.
Come on! The graphics are... We do have a thing here at the store where we'll put the Madden game on and we'll play like matchups that are supposed to happen and watch people do like the... And they like come scrambling in and like press facing at TV. Like, what do you mean they're down by 3? Like...
Yeah, no, like even 10 years ago, people would have to double take. Oh, I didn't know they were playing today. Oh, wait, what? And you know, just how it's gotten since then, even more better graphical fidelity. And of course, whatever like musical cues might accompany whatever they get auto flagged. Yeah, that happened. I don't have an update. Like I believe that they've worked through the reports and been like, oh, sorry, our bad, you're unbanned, you're fine. But in the moment, that was a, tell me you're using a bot for banning without telling me you're using a bot.
I can understand in the case of major sporting events where, you know, Twitch, just as Nerd Glasses, Boater and I work for a larger company, the larger company you work for, the more likely people are to sue. So, if Twitch is rebroadcasting people simulcast and things like that, they will absolutely go to Amazon and go, look what one of your little companies are doing, $10,000 for every moment of that thing that was
I was gonna say
broadcasted.
10,000 is mighty cheap.
Yeah, $10,000. Amazon would have been like, yeah, whatever. Here you go. But
No, we need that for our Lord of the Rings money. The copyright for Lord of the Rings, the ownership of that is going to be put up for sale. The same holding company or whatever has had ownership of the Lord of the Rings as like an intellectual property since I think the 70s. And now it's like, how many $1 billion is someone gonna buy it for? Like Amazon being like, oh yeah, we're putting this out. Can you imagine, okay, from a bookseller perspective, if big evil Amazon ends up owning Lord of the Rings as an intellectual property? Oh, I don't know.
Disney. Disney. That's what I'm betting.
Oh God. Looks at Dude Icarus looks at PS1 games. So lifelike. I hate to make you feel old, but the PS1 game was 25 years ago, not 10. Oh no, I feel old. Damn it. He played the reverse card.
I watched Steve put his birthday in earlier, and I instantly all of my hair turned gray because I remember the year that he typed in. I was like, oh God! Like,
just seeing anyone with a 2 for the first digit is like
all of my students forever. Like I'm sitting there like looking.
Well, those are students. I'm talking adults.
I know, but like I'm looking at some of my students, and I'm literally like, I can place where I was this day. Like, but as I was saying, it's interesting to see how as these companies like Twitch get owned by larger companies and things like that are so very much liable for things like that, that they are absolutely going to hear about it if they don't do something.
Yeah.
It just sucks that the bot, I guess, put in the words super and bowel. Bowl,
I mean, like people
bungle,
might have had,
like...
Super Bowl in the title, but obviously not broadcasting it. Yeah, hopefully it's figured out. But definitely, hey, here's this thing coming up that we suspect a lot of people are going to be rebroadcasting illegally. Let's put some automated systems in place. And oops, you weren't discerning enough.
Our producer puts in a reference to an excellent television show. But I really enjoyed that the Superb Owl was coming out and coming to join us, and we were able to see the Superb Owl, and then also the football game the same day. Have you ever watched?
No.
It's what's the show, Steve? What We Do in the Dark? What We Do in the Shadows? The Superb Owl.
Wait. Okay, you are actually referencing something. I have no idea.
You have no idea what show that's a reference to.
It's not a reference to a show.
They did a whole like this FX phenomena show. All right, hang on.
Okay, yes, but Superb Owl as a joke for it was a thing before the show. Surely.
Never heard it before that. Ever. Anywhere on the internet. None of that.
You gotta wait for More Like Rick and Mortis to come in and check that for me, because earlier I posted something about the phrase bucket list not predating the movie The Bucket List at all from 2007, and she was like, nope, use my linguist skills and found it for you. How's it going, Mr. Tiny Corn Dog?
Superb Owl originated in 1966 by the merger agreement between rival NFL American Football League. The name Super Bowl was the idea of the toy called Super Ball. Okay.
Anyway.
That's awesome.
Anyway, so yes, banned in the last 7 days. People who weren't doing anything wrong. Thanks, Twitch. Please don't ban us. We're not doing anything wrong. Do you want us to do something wrong? Will that be safer? I don't know.
Should we mention the official word for saltines?
Goldfish. Anyway, there's a fair amount of stuff coming out this next week.
There's quite a few things coming out, and I'm very excited for those games. So we're going to, everyone at home, just wipe those hands together and warm up for Nerd Vision, because we're firing up on...
Well, no. Which one does he want to start? Which one do you want to start with?
I didn't look. So Steve names the scenes for these things, and
And they're getting
excellent,
more and more
but
esoteric.
I like them. I like it. Boder's gonna bitch about it because he's a grammar Nazi, but
I mean, it's fine
so
as long as we can decipher what it is.
on the 18th, an installment, once again a PlayStation exclusive game is coming out. One that Boder should be more interested in, and will absolutely be infinitely more interested than I will be. It is a continuation of the franchise, the Horizon Zero Dawn game called Horizon Forbidden West.
Yep.
It is going to take place in some version of California, Nevada, and Utah. They're adding some underwater mechanics and things like that to the game. As usual, superb graphics. The gameplay mechanics are tight and fun.
Yep. I heard, so it comes out on PS4 and PS5. I heard that the PS4 version still looks fantastic. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm working my way through Zero Dawn. I want to say I'm getting towards the end, but I'm honestly not sure. I'm just enjoying every moment of it. And yeah, like, it'll be natural for me to probably move straight on to Forbidden West after that. Get the PS4 version and then upgrade that to the PS5 version as soon as I'm able.
Exactly. Another franchise that PlayStation owns and does a great job with. And company making it, all the people involved with it, they definitely have chosen, pardon me, a particular concept and have stuck with that, fleshed it out, made this universe to then share with everybody, as opposed to, well, the money will come and then we'll put some storyline in, as a lot of games do these days.
Another thing was also announced, I think, today that's going to be along with Forbidden West. In the Horizon series, there's a particular mechanical creature called a tall neck that you climb all the way up to the top and use to reveal the map. Nice big tall thing. And it was announced that there's going to be a Lego set for a tall neck.
Very nice.
I'm getting it and I'm building it.
My experience with tall necks was in Death Stranding, where they have a reference to it. It terrified the shit out of me because at that point I hadn't seen it before, and then it was in the game in a new area I was in, and I was like, that's not fair! That's not fair! I'm delivering the post! And then it turned out it was just a hologram, so everything was fine.
I realized I need to stop looking at that because that has some spoilers as far as like who lives, whatever, if you haven't finished Zero Dawn. So.
But that's coming out on the 18th. Very exciting. Going to be a great time. If you have a PS4 or PS5, definitely get into it. And I would say try the first installment before this second one. But if you jump in here, it'll probably errata a lot of the gameplay.
And I'm going to say of the series, just really quick, last thing I'll say is that, like, compared to a lot of Ubisoft open world games, it manages that a lot better. I'm burnt out on playing, like, Assassin's Creed and Immortals Phoenix Rising. You know, if I tried to get into Watch Dogs, anything, just the way Ubisoft does it. But this is another one in that kind of genre of big, wide open world, whatever. But it just feels a lot more manageable. So I'm not I'm not overwhelmed and burning out.
That's a great thing to hear, especially in the era of the words "open world" are the new battle royale. They were before battle royale, but
before
still.
battle royale, yeah.
But still, it's continued, and boy howdy to games not to need to stick that into everything. The next one that I'm very excited about, coming out the 17th.
Oh, by the way, we were talking about how Steve labeled things. Horizon Forbidden West was labeled as Forza Horizon. Thanks, Steve.
I got it. I got that. This next one is a long-standing fighting franchise that if you're a fan of fighting games, this will absolutely do it for you. And if you're a casual who doesn't like to get beat down by sweaties, maybe not King of Fighters. Maybe not King of Fighters 15. I'm just going to tell you that it's coming out for Windows, the 4, the 5, the Series S and X. It's going to be a sequel to King of Fighters 14. It is focused around two main characters who have powers more so than other folks do, and they are the storyline based around that. Whereas your Tekken franchises are based upon this evil empire you're fighting. Street Fighter, once again, evil empire. This game taking a little bit of a turn in seeing how these now super-powered fighters fight each other and things like that.
Nice.
Looking forward to that on the 17th. Our next one is going to be very interesting. Very excited for it. If you're a tabletop game nerd, if you're an old head PC news or gaming person as well, you know the Total War franchise very well. And if you're a tabletop gaming nerd, you know the Total War Warhammer or Warhammer 40k, all those other things incredibly well. It's going to be an incredibly good time. It is the third installment in this RTS, and it is
Very
taking
cool.
the classic Chaos races, Khorne, Nietzsche, Nurgle, Slaanesh, Ogre Kingdoms, which were not represented in previous installments, the Eastern installed Grand Cathars and Keslev as the human races. If you're a fan of Warhammer, those races make sense. If you are not,
If
they may
not, I'm
catch your
looking at
attention.
the art style, and it's kind of showing what they're going for,
Yes.
while still having that Warhammer flavor to it, which is really cool. I always appreciated that instead of just trying to do its own thing, the Games Workshop looked at the Total War franchise and said, that'd work for us. How do you guys feel about doing a licensed game, but basically doing your thing? That's an awesome way to do it.
Yes. Yeah. Warhammer has been able to adapt itself into so many different franchises, so many different styles, so many different presentations, and it's really nice to see. I will tell you, as somebody that has some of the art books from Warhammer on my set, definitely check that stuff out. It's awesome. The lore is amazing. The books are fun. But if you're a gamer and you like RTSs and things like that, you like a little bit of challenge with a lot of flavor around it, this
Just
will
one
do
more
it for
medium to get into it in. Yeah.
And so those are our big ones that are coming out in the next 7 days.
Cool. There is also, game-related, a movie coming out. We talked about what are we looking forward to in video games in the next 12 months. And last month I said that I was looking forward to this, and that is the Uncharted film that comes out this weekend. It actually opened on the 11th in UK and a couple other markets. So it's been playing for audiences now. It opens here in the US, I want to say on, the 18th. So Thursday night, but Friday. And yeah, reviews are coming in, and the reviews are awful. It's getting pretty hardly panned. People are saying the only bright spot is Tom Holland. So I'm happy to go watch the movie with Steph this weekend and watch Tom Holland as well as a cameo from Nolan North. That's the most I know about it. So, but I'm excited to see it. Like it looks like a popcorn adventure movie, and like I'm down for that in my February release schedule.
Super Mario, Resident Evil, House of the Dead, Doom, so many other games that were then turned into films, but Uncharted has something that a lot of those didn't, which was that Uncharted was directly inspired by a movie, which was inspired by a book, but it was inspired by a film.
And its roots show very much in the game. It plays out in a very cinematic fashion.
Yes.
The movie Uncharted is being marketed as a prequel. Although we see a lot of set pieces. There was the stuff falling out of the cargo plane, platforming, very unrealistic. Nothing was yellow for him to jump to. I think I made that joke on the air here before, so whatever. I have nothing fresh. So it's we're playing it here and setting things up, but at the same time, it like a lot of people are saying that it doesn't have it's recognizably Uncharted, which the same can't be said for Doom. Had a couple elements of the Doom video games in it. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm just going to say that I enjoyed Doom as a movie, not necessarily as an adaptation of whatever. Whereas Uncharted looks like a good adaptation, not necessarily a good film. Which is scales tipped the other way on this one. So we'll see.
Minimal expectations, probably well worth the cost of ticket and popcorn though.
Yeah, I watched Jacksepticeye did a video where he was just playing through a chase in the first Uncharted, I think the first game, with Tom Holland, and they were just talking and doing it as like an interview promo thing for the movie while they were playing the game, which was really cool. And yeah, he was like, oh yeah, tried to, pay homage to Nolan North. I got to meet him. We actually have a scene together. So I'm like, okay, well, he's in there. I get to actually see what he looks like. I have no idea what Nolan North looks like. Does he look like Nathan Drake? Does he look like Desmond Miles? Does he look like the Prince from Prince of Persia 2007? Does he look like the protagonist of Dark Void, whose name I can't remember? I played Nolan North 3 times on the Citadel. So I'm interested to see what the guy looks like. I don't know. Watch, he'll be under a ton of prosthetics and makeup. So yes, that's coming out on Friday. Steph and I are going to see it this weekend, and I will bring back my own opinion and not just those of critics next week right here on the Nerd Glasses podcast. Is that everything that we got coming out in the next little bit?
Well, yeah.
I'll mention one more. So I mentioned before playing a game that I couldn't talk about too much because it's in beta. But now it's not going to be gameplay. It's just going to be a quick looping thing behind us. But I actually, during the Steam Next Fest next week, from February 21st through the 28th, you will be able to play the demo of The Wandering Village, which I've been beta testing for the past couple months. I'm really excited for this. I actually got the chance to play the demo build ahead of time, and my own series where I'm going to start playing through the demo starts coming out on the 17th. Talking to the developers and what's the earliest that I can release it. So if you want to start seeing gameplay of The Wandering Village, which I've talked about a little bit on here before, go to youtube.com/boaterbug. On the 17th, on Thursday, it starts coming out, and you can start playing the demo for yourself on the 21st.
Cool.
So that's that. This is preceded by an ad for TurboTax Tournament, which I was hoping would be watch your favorite gamers live as they attempt to do their taxes. Oh, boy, that would be a thing. Anybody be talking about Lego Horizon Zero Dawn? You missed it.
Mortis, if you're not going to show up on time, we can't hold the topics for you. We did very excitedly talk about how that set is absolutely going to be a part of our thing. But Boater, you know what? Unfortunately,
oh no,
we must protect ourselves from what's coming out in the next 7 days.
I thought we would be fine.
Nope.
Oh, I know what this is about.
Do you need some of this? Do you want
I will take some of this.
All right.
I will put it on at the appropriate moment. So why don't you start introing us? You have yours on so you can safely start speaking.
I'm putting this on to protect myself from further corruption. That was further bad making, further awful. Because I tried hiding last week from it, tried warning everyone, but Boater greeted it. Greeter invited it in. So now here it is to
Go ahead, Dave. I'll be ready.
I thought we were better than this, gamers. I thought we were better than to just keep churning out crap and letting people just force it down our throat. But no! Today, save yourself, steal your eyes as this trailer plays, because it truly has come out after all the delays and all the warnings, out on PlayStation 4, which would then be digitally coded to PS5, Xbox One, the Series X and S.
I don't know. I thought that would be a good idea.
It's to protect your mind, not to protect your teeth. But unfortunately, folks, it has come out, and it is spreading across systems, system-wide, including, that's right, the Google Stadia. It's also coming out for the Switch.
Pulse is still there.
It's also coming out for the Switch, which is absolutely going to be a lot of honestly fun.
Damn it.
The Dynasty Warriors games on Switch seem to do incredibly well, considering they're really not supposed to be an open world game like Dynasty Warriors others were. But Dynasty Warriors 9, it's out now. It's infecting systems. Keep yourself safe from this and so many other awful games. And that's kind of what we have coming out in the next 7 days.
Nice. Let's see. Before we get into things, Dave, I haven't really been playing anything new this week, so I have nothing to add there. I went short, you went long. Cool. We'll get those. Garbage can. Anything new on your end?
Very excited for the game, and I have a topic based upon this. So,
Okay.
came out on Friday. Was very excited to stream it. Then got hung up on playing more Valheim, and wound up playing that till about midnight. And then played about like 45 minutes of it, and then wound up streaming it Sunday. That game, of course, is Sifu.
Yeah.
Very much enjoyed it. Had a great time with it, and am greatly looking forward to playing more of it this Wednesday on Insane Games TV on the weekend Wednesday. But some stats for you. If you remember, while we were playing one of our favorite games, once we started getting some of the achievements unlocked, it showed that like 48.5% of people unlocked this. 26.2% of people. 10 and then just
3.8 people finished playing WeCore. Yes, I remember quite fondly.
As of today, of the people who have played Sifu, which is only on PlayStation 4 and 5 currently, but it will be out for PC in the future, 96.7 players earned the Prologue trophy.
Okay. So they started playing it and tried it for themselves.
82.6% of players earned by beating the first level.
Okay. That's a bit of a drop.
36.3% of players earned the Hateful Put Fighter, which is the second level that you get. There is such a steep decline, and it's not like the levels are that long.
When did the game come out, though?
Friday.
Because, like, I mean, I could see people playing it, like, a level at a time, like people that don't have a lot of gaming time. Like, it'll be interesting to see what those percentages are in a month. But in the first week, like, you know, number one, yes, there is always any game going to be a steep drop off from people just like trying it out, borrowing a disc, whatever. But you know, then you know, I know people who are like, yeah, I only have like an hour of gaming time a week between family and other obligations. So like, I kind of get it. But still,
from what I'm seeing from everybody, from the folks that I've talked to about Sifu and things like that, it's because the game's hard. The game is hard, and people are having a just lifetime membership on the struggle bus. They thought it was just from Software, and it's over here on Sifu as well. Really enjoying the game. Really getting my ass kicked. What I enjoy greatly about this game is tangentially, during a stand-up show that I did, I had my wife, but at the time she was my friend, wear platform shoes. And I talked about concert attire and this and that and the other. And I did talk about how it's absurd in video games when someone who has like 3 to 5 inch those rubber chunks on their shoes, and they would kick you, and it's like, so she would then walk over and like kick me as hard as she could with it. And I bled during those shows after doing that. In Sifu,
bleed for your art. I did. What more do you want?
In Sifu, very glad, by the way, that a character is introduced, and she has like that size, like rises on her shoes, and just immediately upon doing a like overhead down kick, killed me immediately. Do you know how pleased I was because that's how it works. It's like 84 pounds of shoe with force on the head. You're gonna die. Like Sifu absolutely plays like a good kung fu movie, by the way.
Nice.
Because if you don't have good flow, you're not gonna win. I am sad though that it doesn't do the Batman thing, where everybody goes, hey, 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 and they all surround you, but then they kind of wait politely one at a time.
Oh yeah, like the Batman Arkham games.
I'm incredibly sad that at first it seemed like that, and all of us were talking about it, and then nope, just they didn't have an opening space, but then they found it when I turned my back to them and just getting cracked over the head with baseball bats and QQs, and I'm like, ow, this isn't how it works in the movies.
This isn't how it's supposed to work in games. Ow, I have to change my paradigm.
So Sifu, great mechanics, great game, a lot of fun, and that's what I've been jamming on outside of Valheim with Love Alec and my friends there. And Pokemon, of course, because it'll never end.
We also both watched the finale to the Book of Boba Fett. We really do need to get a spoiler screen on here. I don't know how much you want to talk about it. I
Actually,
would
wait.
say
So,
What else can I help you with?
where's our spoiler screen, Bobo? Where is it? We've been asking for weeks. Dick.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say I enjoyed it. I don't have a lot to say. I enjoyed how things came together. I enjoyed the whole episode, and I enjoyed the season of Book of Boba Fett. It felt a little short, in that like everything that happened in the last episode kind of felt like it should have been a two-parter, but at the same time, in the moment, I didn't feel like it was rushed. 7 is a really odd number for episodes because it's not an even number. But it ended up working. And I like Book of Boba Fett more if I think of it as Mandalorian Season 2.5. Like, I joked about that with episodes 5 and 6 that were basically just focused around Din Djarin. But thinking of, because Boba and Fennec both were in or came back in or were introduced in Mandalorian,
Yeah.
they are to some extent characters from that show, although Boba certainly predates it. So thinking of the series as a whole being like, hey, let's take a side diversion and follow these guys for a bit, but then it lets them all be characters that show up in Mandalorian season 3, because we can't have what's her face in there anymore. Oh, crud.
Oh, right. Yep.
Yeah. What? Oh, I can't think of the character's name.
Sheriff, what's her name?
Yeah. Oh, a New Republic Marshal, huh? Okay.
Sheriff not appearing in this franchise going forward.
Instead, we have another character who's the Marshal that potentially could be wrapped into things. We'll see.
Stupid Bat the Tank.
Cara Dune, thank you. One can say that the finale was pretty wizard. I could say that. In fact, I will. It was pretty wizard.
Kara who? I don't care about that character at all.
I do care about the movie Dune, though. It was good. We talked about that, though.
You know what I really enjoyed about the finale?
Yeah.
It bothered to just cover. Hey, what happened to this character? What about that one? What's this one doing?
True. It didn't leave a lot of loose ends.
And the ones that it did kind of leave in a gray area left it so that you're interested in what's coming in, not frustrated because they do that author thing where they're like, and that's it. Like,
Yeah,
what do
yeah.
you mean that's it? And now we're making another one. Bye. Like, they run out of the room.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it tied off a lot. And there is room for them to grow and the story and more stories to be told. Whenever, the Pikes were brought in, and I'm now just like, what's Crimson Dawn doing? Can we rope in what happened in the movie Solo into this? Because, like, I want to see more, like, sequel of what she's doing. Amelia Clark's character from Solo. I want to see where that all went. Granted, that was before the trilogy and this is after, but who knows? It could be a thing. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing where they go with that, or even if it's just used as something that can be a side story to Mandalorian and kind of fulfilling each other. So
Also, much better job this week on vehicle motion. Vehicle inclusivity or not.
The speeders worked a lot better in this episode than they did in their debut one. Maybe it was just how it was shot. I didn't look at, for the most part, I haven't been paying attention to who directs different episodes. I will say my favorite episode of the season is, well, possibly my favorite episode of the season is number 5, where Boba Fett didn't appear at all. But that was a Bryce Dallas Howard episode, which tend to be my favorites of even the Mandalorian series. Hers are some of my favorites. So
I will say, and I messaged both of you about this while I was sitting with my ritual with this, which is to grab my Boba Fett, my a bowl of cereal and sit and like watch the episode with the cat, and that sound effect when the Rancor picked up the speeder, had the speeder in his hand and bit it, just sound design. How dare you?
I would have to watch it again. I didn't notice it as particularly sticking out. I did notice a well-mixed Wilhelm scream. It's normally when you hear it, it's like, oh, there it is. Where this was like, oh, there it is, but it was at least like mixed well, and it wasn't like up in your face.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Towards the end of the episode, the Rancor takes part. Rancor's holding a speeder, and
Rancor Rampage coming
and
down to your
just-
Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah, and just bad sound choice. You had so many out there. Could have even been a fart. Would have been fine. Would have liked it better. Yuck. Ending, I was happy with. I'm excited because I like what it did. Where just like the previous threads that led to this series, it just opened out.
Yeah.
Instead of
Well, it's
well, that's that story, and now we're going to tell you about some other characters you have to care about.
that's something Filoni does really well as a showrunner, is that he does a really good job, as I'm trying to recall, of telling good stories that are enclosed and are complete, but then also leave the way open for more stories to be told. And the first part of that is enjoyable to me as a viewer. I don't like it when something just ends on a cliffhanger that may not get fulfilled. I don't like a lot of loose ends. The second part of that is really good for Disney. Because what's that? You can keep telling stories that let us tell even more stories? Yes, please.
I'm sorry, you can make more money? No, we can make more episodes. Yes, I'm hearing what you're saying. More money, and we would like that, please.
Yes. More money, please.
More toys, please. Put that fucking helmet back on there, pal, and get out there! Make me a billion!
Let's see. NFTs. Let's move on really quick to the NFT Roundup. On my sheet, I have nothing, but then I realized that I saw something today that was pretty much just someone on Twitter getting owned. Someone was planning on making a set of NFTs based on Magic the Gathering art, where then Wizards of the Coast legal representation sent them a letter that was very kindly worded, that basically being like, copyright doesn't work how you think it does. Which is more or less the story.
God, that's gonna be the nicest way of putting.
I mean, it wasn't that word for word, but it was very much like, you don't want to do this. And then, like, they interpreted it as, oh, well, they don't want me to do it because they're going to do it themselves. And it's like, no. And then they're like, hey, can someone just, like, fill me in exactly on how the copyright around this works so I make sure? Like, you don't even know. NFT Bros just assume that if you take something that previously is copyrighted or whatever, and you use it to mint an NFT, then that you own all the rights to the... No.
So bad.
It's not how it works. So let's all give a hearty belly chuckle for NFT Bros getting owned.
Let me ask you though. Oh, sorry.
Well, that's a little hardy.
So you didn't watch the Super Bowl, did you? If you
I did
don't
not
have anything for the NFT Roundup, because my God,
oh my God, right?
This year, did celebrities get paid to? Thank you, More Like Rigor Mortis, for the laugh in chat. By the way, it's really appreciated. Also, by the way, we scooted over this. We do have the topics. More Like Rigor Mortis, thank you so much for the sub. Our subscription.
Yes.
20 months. You should be able to walk and run alone by now, and maybe able to climb steps and jump.
Ooh, sounds dangerous.
But enjoy the mic face emote. Use it. You can also do the exclamation point bald command, which I highly recommend using here on the channel. But oh my God, so many celebrities in commercials that they can then claim, oh, well, I wasn't endorsing cryptocurrency.
Oh my God.
The commercial was me saying I don't know anything about cryptocurrency and I don't like it, or I don't do this, or I invest my money.
There was so many crypto.com ads from what I hear. And like it was pointed out to me that like not half, but it seemed like half of the advertising was for crypto. And the other half was for electric cars. Because there was Polestar 2, there was Ioniq 5, there was a ton of electric car initiatives that are like, look, we're green and environment, whatever. And the other half is like, let's kill the planet for money. Ha!
More like rigor mortis, but the star of the show was the QRG code. I gotta say, this year for the Super Bowl, I'm not gonna lie. First of all, I'm very disappointed that 10 years running, my prediction to win the Super Bowl, the 1985 Bears, once again, did not win the Super Bowl this year. Kind of pissed about that. Should stop putting money on it, but my friend keeps taking the $5 bet, and I keep taking it.
One of these days, Dave, that'll pay out for you.
One of these days, they're going to take the field, and I'm going to laugh, and then I'm going to have $5. But
One of these days, they'll actually get there and they'll still lose.
Yep. What I'm looking forward to, though, was the fact that this year it was all West Coast teams.
Okay.
The Patriots weren't there, or Patriots famous players like Tom Brady being in the Buccaneers, and things like that. So this coast, Sunday, Steve and I went to Walmart after we closed the store on 6. Casually walked around, and there was a lot of people in Walmart. It was one of those things like, it's Super Bowl Sunday, and I was able to buy frozen chicken wings.
Yeah, that's an indicator that nobody really cares.
Yeah.
Interesting. I never thought about. I mean, like I don't give two shits about the Super Bowl at any time, but I never thought about that as like an indicator of interest in the game. The population of Walmart.
It's always interesting to see population of Walmart, availability of game time snacks and things like that. All very fun things if you're a gigantic fucking nerd and have time to observe those things. But I will say, let me just ask our producer here. Steve, what did you think of the halftime performance? Pretty good? Did you watch?
I haven't had the chance to watch it. I've heard great things from my peers.
I really liked it. I work with people that are of an older generation, and they said it was the worst Super Bowl halftime performance they have seen. I asked some of the young folks that I work with, what did you think of the Super Bowl halftime? And they said exactly what all the posts online are saying about the age differences and influence of the artists and things like that.
Demon Dragon very much enjoyed the halftime show.
Good.
She says she didn't mean to yell, but we know.
More like rigor mortis, we watched the Olympics after, and that was more fun. Well, the other half, to be totally honest, is the Olympics aren't every year. So they are incredibly special because you ain't going to get it next. Like, you're going to have to wait. And that makes them awesome. Curling is amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
So, Super Bowl happened. So a lot of people lost their shirts. And if you tune in this Thursday to the House Divided podcast, you have a chance to win a jersey from one of the players during that game. There are a couple different entry things that you need to do. Check it out on the socials down below. But you too could win a jersey and then choose to wear it, ironically, unironically, laundry day, whatever you want. House Divided podcast this Thursday.
Nice. While we're mentioning other shows really quick, yesterday an episode of High Five podcast came out that I was on. And that's, I think it's like the 4th or 5th episode of High Five. It's one of the newer shows here where they get together and they just talk about their top 5 anything. And yesterday we talked about our top 5 meals. And it was fun. Like, our top 5 as well as like our least favorite. And it's funny in that I think one person's least favorite was someone else's like number 2. And then there was something else that was like on 3 different lists, but never in the same spot. So
that's awesome.
It was cool. It's like, how is this going to be a 1-hour thing? Well, it ended up being a 1 hour and 15-minute thing. So make sure that you check that out as well as on YouTube.
Let's not be coy. Nico, you're crushing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've really elevated the podcasting game. Us old farts got to try to keep up.
Yep. And the other guys on there, enough that Dan has to be referred to as Dan S now, to his continual dismay. The YouTube version is a superior cut because of technical difficulties. Good to know. Thank you, Dude Icarus. So make sure to check that out on our YouTube channel. Again, also linked below.
A great many things in gaming happened in the last 7 days.
Yeah, we got like 15 minutes left in the show. Let's talk about some news, shall we?
The gaming god smiled upon us. things like that. Well, for those that don't realize, we're weaving the stories in with our own things. You're welcome.
Yes,
But-
we're weaving as though we're wearing oven mitts while trying to work cross stitch. It's kind of getting in there.
It is. You tune in for this,
And
'cause
then
you
when we
can
break
watch-
the frame and drop that on the table, that's what goes to table topics in Discord.
So, one of the big things that we read, I read about, was a Forbes article where Microsoft absolutely does not want the Activision Activiz acquisition to get vetoed.
Uh-huh.
So they went all out and made sure to be very clear that games like Call of Duty and bigger franchises like that are going to be. Their exact terminology was, well, we're going to do what we did with Minecraft, where if it was pre-existing on other things, we're going to let it be there in those
Okay, and they
spaces
mean
as
that
well.
for franchises, not just games. So, like,
Yes.
not just the Call of Duties that are announced multi-platform and then going exclusive after that. Call of Duty has always been multi-platforms, and it will be in the future. Okay?
So they made sure to walk it, open that up from, well, we'll honor existing contract, la 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 la, like,
Yeah,
which
gotcha.
is basically implying, like, by the way, when that money goes away, PlayStation owners, you're not getting any of it. Like,
Which, again, and we talked about other reasons for that as well, that it makes sense
absolutely.
financially. But, yeah, that's a good point that it could theoretically affect how the whoever oversees such things, antitrust, blah, would rule on it. Yeah, that's
all it takes is enough scowly millionaires to bother the billionaires.
takes. Do you know how many millions are in a billion? It takes a lot of scowly millionaires, but it could
Yes.
still happen.
Yes, and think about that. Activision Blizzard has a lot of scowly millionaires, and then PlayStation has a lot of scowly millionaires, Nintendo, and a lot of other companies.
Yep.
Like,
I mentioned Wordle a few weeks ago as something that I'm playing, and I think I mentioned how the New York Times ended up buying that. And the first instances of difference between that, as well as people playing against people playing the classic version, whether on a cached browser or downloading it, today the word was different. New York Times went through and took some words out of the word list that they felt weren't right for their players, or were a little too blue or a little too obscure. And so the original version of the game had one word. People playing the New York Times version had a different word that the original version would normally have tomorrow. It's the kind of thing that, like, well, that's gonna be another thing that slowly kills their player base. It's just interesting as someone that, hi, I'm still playing Wordle, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. We'll see how long I keep playing that.
oh, I'm playing on the New York Times version. Huh.
Yeah. If
Didn't
you
realize
were
it-
playing on the website, it now redirects and brings your cookies and everything. There were some issues with streaks not carrying over, and they've put in the work to try to repair that. But
I mean, I will tell you that my streaks continued without me even
Yep,
noticing
same.
that it had changed.
I noticed a change because the typeface of the word Wordle at the top changed. It went from the sans serif logo to the chunky New York Times font.
I did see that, but I didn't realize that the URL was different.
Yep.
And where it directed to. It's also because this is the most attention I have paid to that, because what I'm doing is every day myself and a friend exchange each other to see who did it better. And I have to sorry, it landed on a podcast day, but I sent it to my friend while I was on lunch. She got it in 4, I got it in 5, and she sent the gif of MJF going, "I'm better than you, and you know it."
Dave, I'm better than you too. I got it in 4.
Good. I was very. What was your? I'd be curious to see what your structure was like. Your clues and everything.
I'll show you afterward.
Perfect. I enjoy it still.
Yeah.
Post it in the Discord. People interact with it. It's once again Steve saying I got it in 6. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you got it, and you're having fun doing it. So that's what mine looks like.
Nice.
All right. So that's one I got. What else have you got? There was a Nintendo Direct.
There was a Nintendo Direct. We were able to splash and tease it last week, and thank you to all of you that join in with us every week, chat with us, and do these things. And so I pulled a couple things that I got really excited about, and I know you may have some things that you're stoked about, but let's get to the meat of the issue. especially with a lot of these, in the fact that they announced something, and it is absolutely going to be a game you're going to see me playing in April.
Kirby. Kirby.
Oh, I'm glad somebody said. See, Steve? I queued nothing for Kirby because I was like, someone else is going to talk about Kirby. Nintendo Switch Sports.
Okay.
The spiritual successor to the Wii U Wii Sports. Thank you. Which was the successor to the Wii Sports. Thank you.
Dave, I see you failed to mention the obviously superior best of all Wii Sports version, which was Wii Sports Resort.
Oh, the Wii U version. Yes.
No, that's not Wii U. That's Wii Motion Plus. It plays on the original Wii.
No, that game was crap, and everyone knew it, which is why the Wii.
I got to take a Wiimote with Wii Motion Plus attached and go like a paper airplane and fly a biplane around the island. It's the superior version.
Porter got to go brrr. Which is awesome, and I'm very glad that a game, especially with
If only
this...
I could mod the game and put an A10 Warthog in there instead of the little biplane. That's the sound of the machine gun now.
April 29th is going to be the release of this title. Physical copies are going to come with a just spiffy-looking leg holster.
Interesting.
And I'm really looking forward to that one. And then also making a ton of incentives for St. Jude's using that game. Like, for example, how many hours can Dave be forced to play Wii Sports before he falls over dead? You'll find out. So that was...
Every donation is another round.
That was by far one of the biggest things. Another thing that they announced that I was excited for, and Steve and I were really pumped about. Steve and I are a part of a competitive Mario Kart League. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out, which was, a polished version of a game that came out on the Wii U. And so it was one of those things of like, all right, great, but at the same point, like, we didn't really get our own Switch Mario Kart.
Okay.
This is adding 32 new tracks. Yeah, exactly. That's the same face I made when I saw that.
So hold on, is it DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So it's not a brand new game. It is still that, but it may as well be with that much new stuff added.
Yep. New tracks. It's adding from all the different past eras, including Mario Kart Tour, the mobile version of Mario Kart. I'm very excited for these, and you can either purchase it as a DLC, or if you have the top tier Nintendo Online subscription,
Yep.
you get it for free. It comes with it.
Wow.
So I'm very hyped about that. Gonna be very excited for Team Symphonic to be tearing up those tracks as we will, and those things. One other game that did catch my attention that I'll really quick say was I love Nintendo because they're always able to reference their history, to take titles that you wouldn't normally have otherwise. 48 courses. So
For $24.99.
So they're able to pull these games, do these creative things, invent and be a part of. But this game caught my attention immediately. Getsu Fumaden, Undying Moon, which is out right now for the Switch, is a sequel to a 34-year-old Famicom game that was not released in the US. If you're a fan of the Castlevania-style games and things like that, which I'm a fan of, not good at them, but I'm a fan of them, this is absolutely going to get my $24.99. So it's not a real game by the Dan Metrics. We also need a Dan metric, like just graphic, just ding, like certified, not a real game. But the
Complete with that sound effect
on this game, where it in some cases uses a lot of the Eastern-inspired, art styles and things like that. Oh my God! Please take my money. Like,
that looks really cool. I love the art style in that. The art style reminds me a little bit of Okami.
Yep.
Which
the brush strokes, the yes.
Which every month I get closer to replaying. I can't right now. Have too much going on.
What I would say is you should definitely do what I've done for Death Stranding, which is
I'll just wait till it gets re-released on the Series X.
on the,
yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. or if you get games as gift things like have a case order, and as you reach for it, the game gets closer and closer to being the closest one. Death Stranding.
That's sort of what I'm doing with my books. Like I have stacks of books on my kitchen table and counter that are my to-be-read pile, and I have to pull from those before I go and reread anything else off my normal shelves.
Fair. Did anything catch your attention from the Nintendo Direct? Anything you were excited about? Chat, anything you guys were super stoked about?
Not really. I'm enjoying seeing some of the memes with Kirby, but that's about it. Of Kirby just going whatever, just like, yeah, sure, I can eat that and be that car. I think someone modded that into Forza Horizon already. It was modded into something.
Yes, internet. Yes, please, and more.
Now he just needs to swallow an A10 Warthog.
I will also say, Boder, did you ever play Advance Wars?
I did not.
Okay.
I'm familiar with it, but I haven't played it.
When that game comes out, you absolutely must come on the weekend Wednesday and play it with me.
Okay.
I think that will definitely be a game that you will enjoy.
Okay. I look forward to just hanging out with you on the weekend Wednesday again. It's been way too long. So next time, if you don't want to wait for Advance Wars, we can always do God of Door again and do 2 more rooms over the course of 3.5 hours.
If you don't mind, I know we're getting kind of long on time.
Yes.
And everything.
Yes.
But the once in a blue moon thing that does happen, and I'm gonna Steve's nodding because I've been bouncing this idea off the back of his head for a couple of weeks now.
I just like the image.
You know, people celebrate a particular kind of celebration. Some people do, some cultures do, some cultures don't. And you know, that day of the year lands every year on a different day of the week. And so this year, my birthday is landing on a Wednesday.
Oh my.
And I am so excited for that because in the history of the weekend Wednesday, it skipped.
Right, yeah. What did on the leap?
Yep.
Like a leap year skip.
Yep. So it's gone around it. And that sucked. And I was really excited. So this year I am considering, and folks in chat are in the future, definitely let me know. But my God, do I have a lot of stand-up material. And I mean, I have a program. It's my birthday. I have had great successes on doing stand-up shows on my birthday in previous years in various tenures of my life. Would that be something people would watch? You let me know. But looking forward, as always, Boder, to having you on the weekend Wednesday and collaborating in other endeavors as well. I do have one more story. It's a short one, which is, did you see any advertising for the game Martha is Dead?
It sounds familiar, but I don't think I have seen any.
It should sound familiar. It's a really cool game. It's very graphic, very cinematic, very dark undertones. It should remind of horror movie genres, Saw, and things of that nature because it's very visceral, but it does get into things. The game's going to be coming out on February 24th. It's been out. Trailers have been out. It's been announced at other things. But they just Wired Productions, the producer, announced on February 11th.
Right, that's where I've heard of it before. Wired Productions, same people who did Grip.
Yes.
Okay.
February 11th, they released a tweet talking about the fact that Sony all of a sudden has told them to pimp the brakes, and there's a particular part of the game on PlayStation that will be edited.
Huh.
Do you want to know specifically what seemed to tag their attention in a game about murder and death?
Sure. For as long as I hold up the sheet of paper, we're talking about potential spoilers for a game that's not out yet.
There's a scene in the game that you remove the face of another character in the game, and then you put it on. The
Happened in
act
Game of Thrones.
of removing the face is in and of itself a minigame.
Oh! Okay. I could see why PlayStation would be uncomfortable with that. I would be uncomfortable playing that.
Filleting a person's face.
Yes, flensing, I believe, is the word.
Yes, flensing is the proper term for that. But basically, you flense the face.
Ask me
you
how
wear
I
it,
know. It's an
and
anime abridged series.
and the story continues. So that in and of itself seemed to catch Sony's attention, but they announced basically that the Xbox and the PC version will still have that in it.
Okay,
But the
so
PlayStation
edited
version
on
will not
PlayStation, but
specifically have that exact
thing.
snapshot.
Okay. Interesting.
I cannot. Of all the things that have come out recently, a lot of the games, a lot of the things that are going on, I do not know why that particular instance is the thing, but
Yeah, Dude Icarus saying that Saw did the same thing on PS3 with no issue, and it could be, I think that they got a lot of flack for that, and so they just don't want to do it again.
I can quarterback what's the armchair quarterback it the PS3, was that the one that was winning the console war or losing the console war?
Losing.
Oh, that's right. Nobody cares about the loser. But remember how many controversies Microsoft had with the Xbox 360 with people and things like that getting mad about this and that and the other in the games.
I never saw that necessarily reflecting on the Xbox as much as the developers. Like the whatever Call of Duty had you in an airport, and I don't know, but it could just be the perspective that I was looking at it from.
Yeah.
Cool. The only one that I had left isn't even really a news item, just the announcement that all of the Marvel shows that were on Netflix, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, everything like that, as well as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which went up onto Netflix, is going to be pulled down February 28th. They're probably going to go on Disney Plus, but it hasn't been officially announced yet. Just basically, Netflix is losing their Marvel properties now that Disney has their own place to do that on.
Where's the page of things
did we
Voter
predict
says
that
on
somewhere?
air that I'm like, I'm going to write this down? There it is. Which date was that?
February 28th. So he's going to put a prediction for the first, I assume, for when they're going up on Disney Plus.
I think they're going to, if they are going to do it, they're going to do it as like an event.
True.
Like,
when they do their big Disney Plus events and they announce like, here's all the Marvel stuff coming out, here's all the Star Wars stuff coming out.
yeah,
So
like
yeah, I think that was like early summer last time.
yeah.
You say PS3 outsold the 360. First off, I'd want to see numbers on that. Number two, a lot more software sold for the 360. The 360 definitely won that generation when it came to active players. Not to say that, like in like last generation, I would say probably the PS4 won over the Xbox One, but both still had very active player bases. It's too early this generation to call which way that's going.
Or going
both
to go
are
based
going
upon,
really strong right now.
yeah, exclusive titles as well. Because that'll start drawing blood based upon once systems are actually in people's hands too.
Yep. Anyway, that's us going over and just being like, hey, we have little things that we don't feel need to take up space in table topics, so let's zip through those. So that covers it for this week. An eventful week, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff that we've watched and stuff. Next week, once the embargo lifts on Wandering Village, I am going to want to talk at least a few minutes on how that playing is going. I don't know that I can necessarily talk about the beta testing, but I can talk about the demo. Again, go to youtube.com/boaterbug. Starting Thursday the 17th at 11 a.m. There will be the demo playthrough of that, and you can check that out for yourself starting February 21st. Wishlist it, all that. Probably looks good. Tell them I sent you! All that stuff. Yeah, obviously we've talked about a lot of the stuff going on the system here too. May I break? So this might have to do with that one. You sent this to us in our...
Oh, what?
Why don't you go ahead and read the breaking news for us that Steve just sent us?
Our producer is sending to us that Nintendo of America just tweeted, as of late March 2023.
What?
It will Huh?
Sorry, I was looking at something wrong. Continue.
Jesus, Boder. I know you like to correct me on air, but chill, dude.
Sorry, I thought you meant that's when it was tweeted. I'm like, excuse me. Late March 2023?
Relax, dude. Jesus. As of late March 2023, it will no longer be possible to make Nintendo eShop purchases for the Wii U and the Nintendo 3DS family of systems.
I don't have a hat to remove, so. Oh. Oh, you were gonna hand me your spare hat? You end up handing me a chocolate bar.
Sad news. The only good thing to come from that, by the way, and there is a silver lining.
Yeah.
People are going to stop buying more digital games on the systems and coming to Insane Games and claiming that they have 300 games on the system and it's worth more, because no, it's not.
Nope.
Stop it.
Because we wipe the drives so that there's no personal information on them. If you want to sell a PlayStation with PT on it, you do it yourself. You don't do it to a store. Anyway, that is over the time that we've got here at Nerd Glasses Podcast. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the sub, more like rigor mortis. Thank you, everybody that has followed. So many cool shows that you're getting here. We talked High Five Podcast. We talked House Divided. A ton of great stuff. And, of course, make sure that you stick around after the show, where after 5 minutes for us to move all the stuff over that way, then a 10-minute countdown, I will be on the Citadel playing The Outer Worlds. So make sure that you stick around for that. In the meantime, this has been the Nerd Glasses Podcast. I've been Boder.
I've been Dave, man.
And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.